Hey there, ready to knock your next presentation out of the park?
Oh, yeah.
We're diving into Present with Impact.
Yeah. Okay.
A guidebook packed with tips to make your presentations unforgettable.
Right.
You know me, I love a good shortcut. And this book is like having a presentation guru on speed dial.
Yeah. And it gets right to the point, which I appreciate. It emphasizes the power of storytelling.
Yes.
Something we often overlook in a business context.
Yeah.
You know, we think presentations are all about data and bullet points.
Right.
But this book argues that our brains are actually wired to respond to stories.
Which makes total sense. Think about it.
Yeah.
You probably remember the plot of your favorite movie.
Yeah.
Way better than some random list of facts.
Totally.
So how do we actually translate this whole storytelling thing to the world of presentations?
Well, the book breaks down the core elements of a story.
Okay.
Your protagonist, the conflict, and the resolution.
Okay, let's unpack that.
Sure.
Who's the protagonist in a business presentation?
Okay.
My latest sales figures.
Not quite. Think of it as the hero of your presentation, someone your audience can root for.
Okay.
It could be your company, your product, even a client who overcame a challenge using your solution.
Got it.
Yeah.
So let's say I'm presenting a new project management software.
Okay.
My protagonist could be a frazzled project manager,
Uh-huh.
drowning in spreadsheets and missed deadlines.
Right.
The conflict is their inefficient system
There you go.
and the resolution.
That's where your amazing software swoops in to save the day.
Okay.
You've identified a relatable problem, built tension, and now you're offering a satisfying solution.
And that, my friends, is how you tell a story.
Exactly.
I love it. But it's not enough to just tell any story.
Right.
The book also talks about finding your big idea.
Yes.
That one key takeaway you want your audience to remember.
It's like the headline of your presentation.
Okay.
You have to distill your message down to its essence, that one core concept that resonates with your audience.
So it's not just about what I want to say,
Yeah.
but what's going to click with the people I'm talking to.
Precisely. This is where understanding your audience is key.
Okay.
What are their pain points? What keeps them up at night?
Yeah.
Your big idea should address those needs head on.
This is making me rethink my whole approach to presentations.
I like it.
Okay. So we have our story. We have our big idea. Now, how do we actually structure this thing for maximum impact?
Well, have you ever heard of the classic 3-act structure?
Wait, like in movies and plays?
Yes.
Tell me more.
It's a timeless storytelling technique that translates surprisingly well to presentations.
Okay.
Act 1 is your setup.
Got it.
Introduce your protagonist, set the scene, hint at the challenges to come.
Got it. Setting the stage, make it relatable, then what?
Act 2 is where things heat up.
Okay.
This is the confrontation where you dive into the conflict, the stakes are raised, the tension builds.
Ooh, getting juicy. Building that anticipation. And then, of course, the grand finale.
Exactly.
Okay.
Act 3 is all about resolution.
Okay.
You deliver that satisfying conclusion, showing how the problem is solved, ideally with your solution taking center stage.
This is eye-opening. I feel like I've been using the same tired presentation structure for years.
Yeah.
But this 3-act structure is genius.
It works.
It's like building a mini-movie around your idea.
And just like a good movie, you want to keep your audience engaged.
Mm-hmm.
The book talks about using hooks,
Okay.
little nuggets of information or intrigue that grab their attention from the get-go.
Hooks. I love that idea.
Yeah.
So that irresistible first line in a novel, right?
Simply.
But how do I translate that to a presentation?
Think of it as a way to pique their curiosity right from the start.
Okay.
Maybe you start with a provocative question,
Uh-huh.
a startling statistic, or a bold statement that challenges their assumptions.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this works.
Yeah.
Get them hooked, introduce the characters and the conflict, build the tension, and then, bam, deliver that satisfying resolution with my amazing solution.
I love it.
But what about keeping them on the edge of their seats throughout the entire presentation?
Well, the book has some pretty clever tricks for that, too. Like strategically placed cliffhangers to keep the audience wanting more.
Cliffhangers?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that more of a Netflix thing?
Right.
How on earth do I use a cliffhanger in a presentation?
You'd be surprised.
Okay.
Imagine this. You introduce a problem at the beginning,
Okay.
but instead of immediately revealing the solution, you say something like, we'll revisit this challenge and how we tackled it in just a bit.
Okay.
Boom. cliffhanger.
Okay, that is good.
Yeah,
I can see how that would create a sense of anticipation.
exactly. It's about building that desire for the audience to hear more. And then just when they think they've forgotten, you bring it back with a callback, tying everything together neatly.
Callbacks. It's like all the best parts of storytelling, but for presentations.
I know.
This is blowing my mind. But we've only just scratched the surface of present with impact, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We haven't even touched on the visual side of things yet.
Okay.
And I have to say, this book has some incredibly insightful tips on crafting visuals that truly make your message stick.
Okay. I'm all ears because my slides usually fall into the functional but not exactly thrilling category.
Okay. Well, one of the most effective techniques, and one that this book emphasizes, is the power of contrast.
Contrast. What do you mean by that?
Think bold colors, unexpected layouts, anything that visually breaks the pattern and makes your point pop.
Okay.
It's about playing with expectations. Instead of a standard bar chart, maybe you use an infographic with eye-catching colors to present that same data.
Okay, so instead of those tired bar charts and bullet points,
Right.
I need to think outside the box.
Yeah.
Use visuals that pop and grab their attention.
Yes.
What else?
Well, one thing I found fascinating was the book's emphasis on personal anecdotes.
Personal anecdotes. I never thought of using those in a professional presentation.
It might seem counterintuitive,
Yeah.
but personal stories can be incredibly powerful.
Okay.
They make you relatable, create a human connection with your audience.
Mm-hmm.
Even a short anecdote about a time you faced a similar challenge or learned a valuable lesson can make your message much more memorable.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
People remember stories.
Yes.
They remember emotions.
Exactly.
So instead of just talking about, say, the importance of good customer service,
Right.
I could share a quick story about a time I went above and beyond for a client and the positive impact it had.
Exactly. Sure. Don't just tell.
It's like we're hardwired to connect with stories, even in a business setting.
Right.
This book is really making me rethink my whole approach.
Yeah. And don't underestimate the power of visuals.
Oh, okay.
This book delves into using metaphors and symbols in your presentations.
So not just any image,
Right.
but ones that have a deeper meaning
Exactly.
connected to what I'm saying.
Exactly. Think of the classic image of a light bulb to represent a new idea.
Yeah.
It's simple but effective.
Right.
Or imagine you're presenting a strategy to overcome a challenge.
Okay.
Using an image of a bridge could subtly reinforce that idea of connection and overcoming obstacles.
It's like adding another layer of meaning without overwhelming people with jargon.
Exactly.
I love that this is all gold.
Yeah.
But how do I make sure these aha moments
Yeah.
stick with my audience long after the presentation is over?
Well, the book talks about the importance of crafting sound bites.
Okay.
Memorable phrases that encapsulate your key ideas.
Like creating a slogan for my ideas.
Exactly. Instead of saying, our new software increases efficiency and streamlines workflow,
Right.
you could say something like, work smarter, not harder with your software's name.
Okay.
It's catchy, memorable, and it gets the point across.
Yeah.
You've given them something to take away.
Ooh, I like that. Concise, impactful.
Right.
This book is a gold mine. What other stickiness strategies does it recommend?
Well, beyond sound bites, it emphasizes visuals that truly, wow, go beyond the typical boring slides.
Yeah.
Maybe you use props, do a live demonstration,
Right.
or incorporate a short, impactful video.
That makes sense. People remember experiences, not just bullet points.
Exactly. You want to create moments that stand out, something people will talk about afterward.
Yes.
And you know what else helps make a presentation memorable? The peak end rule.
The pecan rule.
Yes.
That's a new one. Tell me more.
It's a psychological principle that says people judge an experience largely based on how they felt at its peak,
Okay.
the most intense or exciting point, and at its end.
So if I can engineer a strong peak and a memorable ending,
You've got yourself a presentation that people won't forget.
okay.
It's all about strategically crafting those high points and making sure you finish strong. Don't let the energy fizzle out at the end. Leave them wanting more.
It's like the grand finale of a fireworks show.
Exact.
You want to end on a high note.
Yes.
Okay. I'm officially sold on this whole present with impact approach.
Great.
We've covered storytelling visuals, creating those aha moments. But what about the actual delivery?
Ah, yes. Delivery is key.
Okay.
Doesn't matter how brilliant your slides are or how compelling your story is if you mumble through it with zero confidence.
Oh, I've been there. I've seen some amazing ideas completely butchered by poor delivery.
Right.
It's painful.
I know.
So what does the book say about bringing your A game when it's showtime?
Well, first and foremost, it stresses the importance of your voice.
Okay.
Think of it as your instrument. You have to learn how to use it effectively, varying your pace, volume, and tone.
Okay.
Think of it like a musical performance.
So don't be a monotone robot.
Exactly. A dynamic delivery can make all the difference.
Right.
And then there's the whole idea of commanding the room.
Okay. That's where I get nervous.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly the most outgoing person.
Sure.
How do I project confidence, especially when I'm nervous?
Yeah.
Any tips?
Even the most seasoned speakers get nervous.
Really?
It's completely normal.
Okay.
The book talks about reframing those jitters, seeing them as excitement, as energy that you can channel into your delivery.
So it's not about being fearless. It's about using those nerves to your advantage.
Exactly. And you know what else can really boost your confidence? Letting your passion shine through. When you genuinely believe in what you're presenting, that energy is contagious.
That's so true.
Right.
Enthusiasm is infectious.
Yes.
So it's not about being a polished performer.
Yeah.
It's about being authentically me and letting my passion for the topic come through.
Precisely. Audiences connect with people who are real, who believe in what they're saying.
Okay, this is making me feel so much more confident about my next presentation.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
But before we wrap up, I have to ask about that elephant in the room.
Okay.
Pre-presentation anxiety, those butterflies in your stomach.
Yeah.
Any advice from the book on how to deal with that? We've all been there. The sweaty palms, the racing heart.
Oh, tell me about it.
It's like our body's way of reminding us that we care about making an impact.
Right.
Does the book offer any words of wisdom for calming those pre-presentation jitters?
It actually suggests reframing those nerves as excitement.
Okay.
It's all about shifting your mindset. Instead of seeing those butterflies as a sign of impending doom, see them as a sign that you're passionate about sharing your message.
So don't fight the nerves. Embrace them. I can get behind that.
Exactly. Channel that nervous energy into something positive.
Okay.
Use it to fuel your enthusiasm, your connection with the audience.
Right.
And this might seem obvious, but preparation is key.
Yeah.
When you know your material inside and out, you naturally feel more confident, and that confidence translates into a more engaging delivery.
Practice makes perfect. Rehearse, refine, repeat.
Absolutely. And here's a pro tip from the book, Visualize Success.
You mean picture myself absolutely rocking the presentation?
Exactly. Close your eyes and imagine yourself confidently delivering your message, connecting with the audience, and seeing their positive reactions.
Yeah.
Visualizing success can actually trick your brain into feeling more prepared and confident.
Wow.
It's like a mental rehearsal for the real thing.
I love that. It's like giving myself a pep talk before the big game.
Exactly.
This book really does cover it all: storytelling, design, delivery, even conquering those pre-presentation jitters.
Yeah.
It's been incredibly insightful. Any final words of wisdom from Present with Impact before we wrap things up?
There's one more gem I wanted to share.
Yeah.
The book talks about the importance of adapting your presentation style to different cultural contexts.
That's such an important point. What works in one culture might not translate well in another.
Exactly. For example, humor can be a great way to connect with an audience, but what's considered funny in one culture might be inappropriate or even offensive in another.
That's so true. I've definitely seen that happen.
Right.
It's a good reminder to be mindful and do your research.
Absolutely. If you're presenting to an international audience or a group with diverse cultural backgrounds, take the time to understand the cultural norms and expectations.
Okay.
This will help you avoid any potential miscommunications or faux pas.
It's a great reminder that presenting with impact isn't just about following a set of rules.
Right.
It's about being adaptable, thoughtful, and respectful of your audience.
Well said. At the end of the day, it's all about connecting with people and sharing your ideas in a way that resonates with them.
Couldn't agree more. This deep dive has been a game changer for me. I'm feeling inspired and ready to ditch those tired old slides for good.
I'm glad to hear it. Remember, you have the power to create presentations that are not only informative, but also engaging, memorable, and impactful.
So to all of you listeners out there, it's time to say goodbye to death by PowerPoint and embrace the power of presenting with impact. Thanks for joining us on this journey. Until next time.
It's been a pleasure.